Hey guys, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches with another exciting episode for you today. And naturally, we are going to jump quickly into the meat and potatoes of this video. Meat and potatoes of this video. But first, I would like to do the quick fist watch check. It's not what you would expect based on the title of this video. So let's knock it out of the way. And here she comes. 3, 2, 1. I am wearing today the Rolex Submariner. So why am I wearing the classic, iconic Rolex Submariner when we are here today to talk about why you should run out and buy a 40mm Yachtmaster right now, today? Well, I've got the Yachty here as well. Let me hold that up. This is the one that I have purchased. And in just a moment, we're going to flip the camera around and we're going to talk about this watch. But you know, it has a relationship to this watch. The Yachty and the Submariner have a relationship. They're not twin brothers. They're not even fraternal twin brothers, but they're kissing cousins. And yeah, so we should really discuss that. The whole point that I'm going to make to you, so I'm going to give you a quick preview ahead, is that the Yachtmaster is perhaps one of the last bargains in modern Rolex. Now, I almost wanted to say in ceramic Rolex, but it's not ceramic. So I'll tell you what, guys, to get further and deeper into the profound subject of why you need this one, and you need it soon, you need it now. Let's turn the camera around. Let's have a look around the Yachtmaster. And at the same time, we're going to have to do a brief comparison to the Submariner so the whole concept will make sense to you. And then I'll promise you this. Somewhere in the next week or two, I will do a thorough breakdown comparison, head-to-head, Submariner versus Yachtmaster video. This today, we're going to take a deeper look at this. We're going to talk a little bit more about the owner experience and the economics of wearing the Yachtmaster. We will do a quick comparison to the Submariner because that's inevitable. But in an upcoming video and soon, I will give you like a point-to-point, head-to-head on these two guys. So let's get the camera turned around and look at this in a whole lot more detail. And trust me, you need to buy this now. Okay, guys, right now you're having a look at the 40mm Yachtmaster. I have the one clearly in the blue dial. Now, that is a sunburst blue dial, and it changes colors constantly. So if I tilt it, it's going to go black. But you get it into the right kind of sunlight, and it goes extremely blue. And in fact, right now you're seeing it blue, but you're not seeing the full brilliance. So somewhere along the lines in this video, I will throw in a photograph showing you how gorgeous this watch is when it's exposed to direct and bright sunlight. Today is a cloudy and overcast day. Now, I've got the calipers out, so we're going to go ahead and do a measurement here. Forgive my awkward camera work. Let's see what we got. It's going to be 40, I'll tell you right now. 39.9, let's call that 40. And in terms of chubbiness, 12.7. Now, that compares reasonably well with the Submariner. But look, guys, first I'm going to talk to you about the wearability, the owner experience, a little tour of this watch, and then we'll flip the camera around, and in my bye-bye comments, I'll go ahead and tell you why I think you need to buy one of these right now, today, and I'm not even kidding. Okay, first of all, the bezel. You know what? I feel like the bezel is the elephant in the room. It's the thing that we just have to talk about, and we got to talk about it now. The numbers, unlike a Submariner, like let me just throw a Submariner in front of you real quick. On the Submariner, the bezel is not only ceramic, but the numbers are incised into the ceramic, and then they are PVD coated or laid in with some kind of very thin coating of platinum. Okay, but there's like a micron or two of platinum in there. It's not very much, but it's certainly handsome, that's for sure, and extremely durable. But in the bezel of the Yachtmaster here, these numbers are raised. This is done in like bas relief. if you will. So these numbers are actually sticking up. And it takes the eye a moment to sort of get used to that idea. It's certainly very, very different than the Submariner itself. But in many other ways, it's extremely similar. It does have a maxi dial. So these, I'll use my little pointer, these hour markers are much bigger than on the pre-ceramic or older style Submariners. And the hands are bigger. What I love here is you get a bright red seconds hand, whereas it's just a very plain silver, white gold on the Submariner. Actually, Doc BBW loved that red hand so much that he Franken-watched his Submariner, and he had the seconds hand taken out of a Yachtmaster, or the red one like this, and put into his subby. Okay, here's the thing. This bezel, not just the bezel insert, but the entire bezel mechanism is made out of platinum. And that makes this watch a little heavy. I'll tell you what, I will weigh it for you, and I'll drop the weight in right there. But it's reasonably heavy given its size. It is somewhat more delicate than the Submariner because look at the lug profile and the case. That's vastly different than what you see on a sub. So let me show you the sub here for comparison's sake. You know, the sub is like a slab of metal there, right? Whereas the Yachtmaster, it's far more delicate, and because of that, it tends to wear a bit smaller. Also because the bezel is not as visually popping. I mean, they're both 40 millimeter watches, but this thing pops a little bit more in terms of size and heft. Also, you have the wider lug profile there. So on the Submariner, you have not only the maxi dial, which you have on both, but you have the super case with the wider lug profile. I am really enjoying this watch. It has polished center links, which you think would be annoying, but in actuality, they give the bracelet a bit of flash and pop that you don't get off of the purely brushed finish of the Submariner. So when you're out and about, if you're going somewhere to the cocktail party or something like that, the Yachtmaster dresses up. Also, not everybody has one, which is something that we'll talk about in a little more detail later. Now, the bezel, it is clicky, but not the same as the Submariner. It's a very high quality bezel, but it is a different turning experience. I don't even think you're going to hear that on the microphone. I can feel it. I can barely hear it. It's definitive, but watch this. It's not a dive watch, guys. So although I can time the pizza in the oven, it's not unidirectional. Certainly is a beautiful watch, I'll tell you that much. Oh, the clasp. I think maybe this is the only downside. Because it's not a dive watch, it doesn't have the dive clasp. It has the Easy Link system. So see that little link there? I'm going to click it open, pull it out. I've just extended the size of the watch by 5 millimeters or half a link. That's what's common on the Daytona, the Sky Dweller, and other professional watches or sports watches of the Rolex line, which are not dive watches. Whereas the sub has that glide lock clasp, so you can make micro adjustments on the fly. Okay, so I think this watch is not for everybody, but I'll tell you, if you've got the Submariner already, this is a no-brainer. But there's a couple reasons why you might want to buy one, and you might want to buy it now. So let's flip the camera around, and I'll talk to you right about that. So real quick, when we're talking about the Yachtmaster, remember we're talking about the 40 millimeter version. There are so many versions of this now. It's available in white gold. It's available in yellow gold. It's got 37 millimeters. It's got 40. And there's a 44 millimeter Yachtmaster 2, which I'll show you right here. It will help me enormously if you throw a like on this video, because that's what YouTube algorithms are looking for now. And please subscribe to my channel for more content like this. That's a weird one. That's not the one we're talking about, guys. So what I think that we really need to speak about is that 40 millimeter version that I just showed you. It's a modern Rolex. Why do you want one right now? Well, it retails for not quite, but just about $12,000. And where I live, there's about a 10% sales tax. So you can just tack $1,200 onto that. So you're lucky to get out of the authorized dealer under $13,000 for this beautiful, hefty little blue dialed, platinum bezeled Yachtmaster, modern, with solid end links, solid center links, polished center links, 148 grams of platinum and steel deliciousness. Okay, it's a lovely watch. You're not going to see one around every corner. Not every guy is wearing a Yachtmaster, so it's kind of it's a little more unique. It's for the rugged individualist who still wants to look slightly hoity-toity. It dresses up really well. Now, here's the thing. I'm all for going to the authorized dealer when that makes sense. And for example, I purchased my Redline Sea Dweller, my 43 millimeter 50th anniversary Sea Dweller, from a great authorized dealer, James & Sons, here in the Chicago area and also in Northwest Indiana. They have a location. And shameless plug, these guys are terrific. And if you want the authorized dealer experience, you want to go to somebody extremely reputable like this. But here's the thing. Almost all Steel Sports Rolexes are selling above MSRP because they're in such short supply. Now, if you want to call Brian over at James & Sons, just use my name. He's going to take you seriously. These are really nice people. I've heard so many horror stories about authorized dealers who just poo-poo you and blow you off. A good authorized dealer is going to take you seriously and be respectful and give you a realistic idea of what you're looking for and how long it's going to take. But the thing about that Yachtmaster that I showed you is that it's available on the secondary market now well under MSRP. So only several months ago, I paid $9,000 for mine versus $13,000 out the door at an authorized dealer, if you can get one. So you're talking about $4,000 under out the door price. And that makes it a bargain. And let me tell you, there are very few of those left in Steel Sports Rolex. In fact, if you can think of one, tell me in the comments, please. So thank you for spending so much time with me. I really appreciate it. Please throw a like on this video because that helps enormously. Subscribe to this channel for more content if you haven't already done so. And guys, if you're looking for a relative bargain in Steel Sports Rolex, I think we're down to this Yachtmaster. Fortunately, it's gorgeous. Let's take a look at it now in bright sunlight.